Welcome back, guys, to another video. And this video is going to be my history video, but I realize some of the subjects I want to talk about are going to take probably an entire video on themselves. So, anyways, enough talking, and let's get into it. I should say, the three things we're talking about today, one of them is a battle during World War One, and two of them are very, very severe murder cases. So I figured, yeah, why not? I don't really feel like playing the game today, so why not? I said I was gonna make a history video. Here we are. Enough talking. Now let's get into the war story. So, the story we're talking about today is the Attack of the Dead Man. Dead Men, my bad. The Attack of the Dead Men was a battle of World War One that took place at Auschwitz Fortress, now northeastern Poland, on August 6, 1915. The incident got its name from the bloodied, zombie-like appearance of the Russian combatants after they were bombarded with a mixture of poison gases, chlorine, and bromine by the Germans. Attack of the Dead Men, part of the Eastern Front of World War One. Date was August 7th, 1915. Location, Auschwitz Fortress. Okay, I can't speak English, apparently. Auschwitz Twierdza? I'm not sure. Russian Empire, now Poland. Result, Patriotic Russian victory. German forces routed. Russian evacuation on August 19th. The can't speak English today. The people involved, I can't speak English, so I'm just going to say the people involved, was the German Empire and the Russian Empire. Commanders and leaders for Germany, it was Paul von Hindenburg. And for the Russians, it was Vladimir Kotulski. Strength of the Germans was 14 battalions, 7,000 to maybe 8,000 men. Now, the Russian had 900 men, 500 soldiers, plus 400 militia, 60 to 100 in the counterattack. Casualties and losses for the Germans, it was a moderate, heavy, in the counterattack. And for the Russians, heavy, about 800, almost all present, were wounded. Lieutenant Vladimir Kotulski, commandant of the Auschwitz Fortress during the attack. That's the guy. The battle. The Germans launched a full frontal offensive on Auschwitz Fortress at the beginning of July. The attack included 14 battalions of infantry, 1 battalion of sappers, 24 to 30 heavy siege guns, and 30 batteries of artillery equipped with poison gases led by Field Marshal Paul von Hindenburg. Well, anyway, let's continue. Where was I? Led by Field Marshal Paul von Hindenburg, Russian defenses were manned by 500 soldiers of the 226th Zemlinsky Infantry Regiment and 400 militia. The 11th Landwehr Division was singled out for their new general attack. The 18th Regiment was deployed in the main direction along the highway and railway. The 76th Landwehr Regiment was to attack the south to aid the success of the operation on the front of both regiments. It was decided to use a massive gas balloon attack with chlorine. So basically, that's a really good idea. If you're the enemy, that is, it's a very good idea to do that against the enemy. Boom, you're gonna win. But out here, the people get attacked with the gas. It was not pretty. Other parts of the division to the north and northeast are to support the attack with demonstrated action. I should say too, if I don't finish all of the stories today, I will of course either try to simplify stories in time, or I'll just make another video. Because there's one thing I want to talk about today, but I realize that's going to take a godforsaken, who knows how long. But, yeah, I'll make that a separate video. But anyways, at dawn, at 4 a.m. on August 6, 1915, with a tailwind on the entire front of the attack, chlorine was released from 30 gas balloon batteries. It's estimated that the gas eventually penetrated to a total depth of 20 kilometers, maintaining the striking effort to a depth of 12 kilometers and up to 12 meters in height. In the absence of any effective means of protection to the defenders, I just won't worry about this one, we'll just do a different one. I'm not so sure I just waited it. Okay, it looks like the tablet is having a goddamn seizure. Are you working now? Okay, it looks like it's not gonna have a stroke anymore because I can move and it doesn't look like my tablet's running at 1 frame per second. Okay, yeah, I think it is good now. I mean, like I was saying, I wish it looked like I should just postpone this video because it seems like they're, I don't know, it sounds like they're upset or something. I don't know. I just don't really have the real tape and do this video anymore, but I've already started. I should just try to do it. Or at least talk about this. Let's just see how long this might be. Oh boy, this is gonna be long. Long, yeah, I speak English, god dang. I'll look for something I can fidget with. Alright, give me these, I can fidget with these. Anyway, we'll just skip to one of the murders we're gonna do, which will probably be this entire goddamn video. But this murder is the murder of Sylvia Likens. Sylvia Marie Likens, born January 3rd, 1949, and died October 26, 1965, was an American teenager who was tortured and murdered by her caregiver, Gertrude Baniswitsky. I think I might just end this video here because it seems like they just starting or something. I don't know. If I don't end this, I might just, I don't know, just scrap this idea and just do an in-game video instead. You know what? I'm thinking maybe tomorrow, if it's not too bad, I might just do like a talk, I guess. Just walk around my house, or maybe just pace back and forth at the back of the house. I don't know. It was a nice day today. I realize I probably should do that now, but I'll just wait till tomorrow. My feet are just killing me. Okay, I think they're done. Honestly, I'm not sure if I should even just do this video. I feel like I should just end it. Yeah, I think they're done. I don't know. Anyway, Sylvia Marie Likens, yes, to say all that, was tortured and murdered by her caregiver, Gertrude Baniswitsky. I was called Gertrude, okay? I'm not gonna try to pronounce her last name because I've always sounded bad in these videos. I don't need to sound any worse because I'm trying to pronounce a last name that's kind of foreign. So I think I'll just stick to just calling her Gertrude. Many of the Gertrude's children and several of their neighborhood friends, this abuse inconveniently lasted for 3 months before Likens died from extensive injuries and malnourishment on October 26th in Indianapolis, Indiana. Wow, shocking. Indianapolis is in Indiana? I thought that was in China, man. And we got a little picture of her at the age of 16 when she died. That's a good, like, lasting area. So, she was born, Sylvia Marie Likens, January 3rd, 1949, in Lebanon, Indiana, USA, or US. And then she died October 26, 1965, at the age of 16 in Indianapolis, Indiana, US. Cause of death: subdural hematoma, shock, and malnourishment. Resting place: Oak Hill Cemetery, Lebanon, Indiana, US. And then it has some coordinates saying approximates, but I'm not going to be out the coordinates. For obvious goddamn reasons, I don't feel like telling you coordinates. Known for victim of torture murder. So already, before we get in, this sounds like something bad. I've already heard this case before. Why do you think I'm even making this? Oh, I should say how I heard about this case was from a YouTuber called Plague Moth. If anyone gets, oh look, there goes a black squirrel again. Yeah, let's just say I get distracted easily, don't be surprised by that. But anyway, you should check out Plague Moth. He does like videos like crime and some gore videos, which I'll talk about them some other time. Anyway, I think that's a good time. I'm not sure if anyone's going to find this because, like, basically no one watches my videos. Is that supposed to be a thing like, hey, watch my videos? I don't really care. Do what the heck you want to do. I don't care. I mean, I noticed one of my most popular videos, World of Wars. Well, apparently people like when I play old games. Don't be surprised if that's all I really do. Oh my god, really old games. Well, I shouldn't say old. They're technically. Well, no, technically they basically most of my games are basically a decade old. God dang. Well, anyway, I need to stop getting sidetracked. I always do this. Where Likens was increasingly neglected, belittled, sexually humiliated, beaten, starved, lacerated, and dehydrated by her tormentors. Well, that just sounds like a jolly good old time, doesn't it? Sounds fun. Let me try it. I should say I might try to crack. Yeah, crack like a duck. Crack. Make some jokes. God, I can't speak English. I say to my guy, make a video, my brain decides to just shut down on my English speaking skills. Her autopsy showed 150 wounds across her body, including several burns, scald marks, and eroded skin. Through intimidation, her younger sister, Jenny, was occasionally forced to participate in her mistreatment. The official cause of her death was determined to be a homicide caused by a combination of subdural hematoma and shock, complicated by severe malnutrition. Gertrude, her oldest daughter, Paula, her son, John, and two neighborhood youths, Troy Hubbard and Richard Hobbs, were all tried and convicted in May 1966 of neglecting, torturing, and murdering Likens. At the defendant's trial, Deputy Prosecutor Leroy New described the case as the most diabolical case ever come before a court or jury. And Gertrude's defense attorney, William C. Erbecker, described Likens as having been subjected to acts of degradation that you wouldn't commit on a dog before her death. I'm gonna grab me a water, man. I need to clean the throat. I'll be back in a moment.
You actually had cops come to your house?
Going to. I'll leave the light off. I'm back. I'm alive. I didn't die. Shocking, I know. That's better. After 8 hours of deliberation, the jury found Gertrude guilty of first-degree murder. She was sentenced to life imprisonment but was released on parole in 1985. Paula was found guilty of second-degree murder and was released in 1972. Hobbs, Herbert, and John were found guilty of manslaughter and served less than 2 years in the Indiana Reformatory before being granted parole on February 27th, 1968. The torture and murder of Sylvia Likens is widely regarded by Indiana citizens as the worst crime ever committed in their state and has been described by a senior investigator in the Indianapolis Police Department as the most sadistic case he had ever investigated in the 35 years he served with the Indianapolis Police. I got some background, but Gertrude Nadine. Ooh. Oh wait, never mind. I thought it had a spelling, but I'm gonna try to pronounce it. Banis Swirsky. Yeah. That name. I'll just freaking show it, man. That name, which I cannot pronounce because I am an American. I don't really speak any other language. Oh yeah, I'm supposed to look for restaurants. It's 6:50. I got time. Yeah. So I saw this video like 7:40 or something. So, I mean, 6:40 or something. So I'll probably be done at like 7:40 or something. I don't know. But Gertrude was born September 19th, 1928, and died June 16th, 1990. Was born in Indianapolis, Indiana, to Hugh Marcus von Fosen Sr. and Molly Myrtle. Both of whom were originally from Illinois and were of American and Dutch descent. Gertrude was the third of 6 children, and her family was working class. God, I can't speak. God, I just can't wait for my voice to finally change. Because then, I will gotta do a voice cracks while making godforsaken videos that basically no one ever sees, because I am basically living in the middle of goddamn nowhere. Well, I'm not sure if I said this, but Sylvia Likens' case is sometimes referred to as the American version of Junko Furuto. If you know anything about Junko Furuto, you do know that it is very bad, which I might get to her next video, whenever I make that. But, yeah, and if you don't know what Junko Furuto's case is, well, people refer to it as 44 Days in Hell. Yes, I'm going to say it, because I'm not saying go to that place. I'm just saying the name of the place. So technically, don't look at me, man. I'm just saying the name. That's it. I ain't saying no one is going there. So technically, I'm just saying the place. Well, you know, I could talk about Hell, Michigan, or the place in Poland. I'm not even sure if it's pronounced Hell or not. It could be pronounced Hitler or something. Anyway, I realized when I said that, it sounded like I said Hitler. But anyway, from where originally from, Gertrude was, On October 5th, 1939, Gertrude saw her 50-year-old father die from a sudden heart attack. 6 years later, she dropped out of high school at age 16 to marry 18-year-old John Stephen. Dutch name. I'm not going to try to pronounce it. 18-year-old John Stephen was born. He was born in 1926 and died in 2007. I don't know why I'm taking so long to speak. It's like, I don't know. It's right here in my face, man. But I don't know what it says. I told you I don't speak English, so I don't understand what English is. Who was originally from Youngville, Pennsylvania, and was of Polish ancestry, and to whom she bore 4 children. Although John had a volatile temper and occasionally beat his wife, the two remained together for 10 years prior to their first divorce. Following her divorce, Gertrude married a man named Edward Gerthy. I don't know why I'm taking so long to process stuff. This marriage lasted just 3 months before the couple divorced. Shortly thereafter, Gertrude remarried her first husband, bearing him 2 more children. The couple divorced for the second time in 1963. Weeks after her third divorce, like I told you, I don't speak goddamn English. I was born in America. We mainly speak English. And then I think our second most speaking language is Spanish. But, yeah. I should be able to understand English. No wonder why people think I'm from some different goddamn country. I'm having such trouble trying to speak English. Weeks after her third divorce, Gertrude began a relationship with a 22-year-old named Dennis Lee Wright, who also physically abused her. She had 1 child with Wright, Dennis Lee Wright Jr. Shortly after the birth of their son, Wright abandoned Gertrude. I'm just gonna start. Can I speak English words without having a goddamn stroke? Well, I'm gonna just mess with this thing. I don't know what it even is. I just like it. I don't know. Where the heck was I at? Shortly thereafter, Gertrude filed a paternity suit against Wright for financial support of the child. Otherwise, seldom seldom contributed to the careless son. By 1965, Gertrude lived alone with her 7 children: Paula, 17, Stephanie, 15, John, 12, Mary, 11, Shirley, 10, James, 8, and Dennis Levi Jr., 1. That's how young Dennis Levi Jr. is in 1965. Just 1 year old. That's kind of young. I don't know why I'm making such a big deal about this. Jesus Christ, I'm retarded. Although 36 years old and 5 feet 6 inches, or 168 centimeters, for the European folk out there, 168 centimeters for basically just Americans, 5 feet 6 inches. Not bad. I am definitely taller than her. She's probably about maybe too much in. I don't know. I'm probably like her height, maybe like 6 feet, 5 feet 6 7 inches or something. I don't know, 5'7", maybe 5'7.5". I don't know. Goodness. Yeah, why not? This is not gonna get me. Yeah, I might have to make a part 2 of this because I'm taking like 5 years. In height, she weighed only 100 pounds, 45 kilograms, and has been described as a haggard, underweight, asthmatic chain smoker suffering from depression due to the stress of 3 failed marriages, a failed relationship, and a recent miscarriage. So let's just say she didn't have the greatest life ever. I think I can say that with certainty. She did not have the greatest life at all. In addition to this sporadic, sport, I'm gonna just skip it. In addition to the word checks she received from her first husband, a former Indianapolis policeman, upon whom she primarily relied financially to support her children, Gertrude occasionally performed odd jobs for neighbors and acquaintances, such as sewing or cleaning in order to earn money. Gertrude resided in Indianapolis at 3850 East New York Street, where the monthly rent was $55. Which to most people that was cheap, but to the 60s that's probably a bit expensive. Yeah, I was trying to get some water to go up my nose. That's lovely. Now we got Sylvia Likens. Sylvia Marie Likens, January 3rd, 1949, October 26, 1965, was the third of 5 children born to carnival workers Lester Cecil Likens, 1926 to 2013, and his wife Elizabeth Betty Funds, 1927 to 1998. She was born between 2 sets of fraternal twins, Daniel and Diana, 2 years older than her, and Benny and Jenny, 1 year younger. Jenny Likens suffered from polio, causing one of her legs to be weaker than the other. She was afflicted with a noticeable limp and had to wear a steel brace on one leg. I should say too, like Thursday, or well, probably not Thursday, but probably like Friday, I'm gonna do a video with my mom. It's gonna be about Unit 731. Basically, the people who I think are sometimes worse than the goddamn Nazis. But that's just a little little teaser for whenever I make that. I'm pretty sure my mom's ready. Because she's out there chilling right now, so yeah, I'll let her chill. Secondly, I was gonna drag her in here and do it, but now she wants to chill, lean back, and not be on my not so comfy bed. But anyway, Lester and Elizabeth's marriage was unstable. They often sold candy, beer, and soda at carnival stands around Indiana throughout the summer, moving frequently and regularly experiencing severe financial difficulties. The Likens' son regularly traveled with them in order to assist with their job, but Sylvia and Jenny were discouraged from doing the same, out of concern for their safety and education. As a result, both sisters frequently stayed with their relatives, often their grandmother. In her teenage years, Sylvia Likens occasionally earned spending money by babysitting, running errands, or performing ironing chores for friends and neighbors, often giving her money part of her earnings. She had been described as a friendly, confident, and lively girl with long, wavy, light brown hair extending below her shoulders, and was known as Cookie to her friends. That's cute, Cookie. Although exuberant, Likens always kept her mouth closed when smiling due to a missing front tooth, which she had lost while roughhousing in front of her brothers during a childhood game. She had also had a fondness for music, in particular, the Beatles, and was notably protective of her remarkably more timid and insecure younger sister. On several occasions, the two sisters would visit a skating rink, and Sylvia would help Jenny skate by holding her hand, while Jenny skated on her unaffected foot. July 1965. This is when things start getting a bit crazy. Warm water. Delicious. By June 1965, Sylvia and Jenny Likens resided with their parents in Indianapolis. On July 3rd, I realize I don't really make sense of this. On July 3rd, their mother was arrested and subsequently jailed for shoplifting. Shortly thereafter, Lester Likens arranged for his daughters to be born with Gertrude B. I'm gonna just start calling Gertrude GB. The mother of two girls with whom the sisters had recently become acquainted were studying at Oslo Technical High School. Paula and Stephanie, at the time of the boarding agreement, Gertrude assured Lester that she would care for his daughters until it was turned as if they were her own children. Well, ain't that just a little lie? One of the children basically was tortured to death. That doesn't sound like you cared for your own children, unless that's how you treat your own children. So don't worry, that's a lie. But you already know that this is legit called the murder of Sylvia Likens. Wow, shocking. A murder. It's just like, yeah. I just wanted you guys saw that. I am sorry, I'm trying to fix my goddamn underwear, but I'm gonna shut up now. Basically, I was trying to fix my underwear, I wasn't scratching my nuts. Jesus. That struck a little bit cold. Shortly after the July 4th holiday, the sisters moved into 385 East New York Street in order for their father and later their mother to travel to the East Coast with the carnival. But little did they know, as soon as they entered that house, it would just get with thing. It's my eye. Well, I'm dying over here, Jesus Christ. My eyes acting retarded. With the understanding that Gertrude would receive a weekly boarding fees of $20 to care for their daughters until they returned to collect Sylvia and Jenny in November of that year. I just realized when she died, she was pretty close to getting picked up. It's sad. In the initial weeks in which Sylvia and Jenny decided that the B household, the sisters were subjected to very little discipline or abuse. Like is regularly sang along to pop records with Stephanie, and she willingly participated in housework at the B residence. Both girls also regularly attended Sunday school with the B children, with the pastor commending Sylvia's piety. But now we're going on to the abuse. Dang it, my eyeball. No, where the freak are my eye drops? I don't know where they're down there somewhere. Oh, no. I have to start taking my freaking eye drops like start getting back up again. I must make a video to wash my eye out. Although Lester Likens had agreed to pay Gertrude, GB, $20 a week in exchange for the care of his daughters. After approximately 2 weeks, those payments failed to consistently arrive upon the pre-arranged dates, occasionally arriving 1 or 2 days late. In response, Gertrude began venting her frustration on the fact upon the sisters by beating their bare buttocks. I wasn't expecting that, but okay, we're gonna be fancy here. But their bare buttocks with various instruments such as a 1/4 inch thick or 6.4 millimeter paddle, with incisions such as, well, I take care of you little B words for a week for nothing? God dang eye. Man, I'm about to just pull my goddamn wall in my eye, man. Flush out. I probably will ooey gooey sleep. Oh yeah, I like to be in no pain in my little body. Jesus Christ, can you work or not? Jesus, the eye. Swear to God, every single time something's wrong with my body. Or that be pain, or just, oh yeah, sure, my eye just instead of getting sleep, let's just get, I don't know, cum in there. Looks like goddamn cum. I don't know what that even looks like. I just know it's just looks like milk or something from goddamn memes. It's just probably like that, I don't know. Where the heck am I? Ah. On one occasion in late August, both girls were beaten approximately 15 times on the back with the affirmation paddle. After Paula had accused his sisters of eating too much food at a church supper the household children had attended. I realize this probably won't be too long. What are we at now? Okay, we're about halfway. Jesus. By mid-August, GB had begun to focus abuse almost exclusively upon Sylvia, with her primary motivation likely being jealousy of her physical appearance and potential in life. According to subsequent trial testimony, this abuse was initially inflicted upon Sylvia after she and Jenny had returned to the B household from Arsenal Technical High School, as well as on weekends. This initial abuse included subjecting Likens to beatings and starvation, forcing her to eat leftovers, or spoiling food out of the garbage cans. Okay, if we're getting off really kind of bad. Everyone, that sounds kind of horrible. Believe me, it gets worse. There's a reason people refer this as the Jungle Fruto of America. That's how bad it is. Where did we live off? Oh yeah. On one occasion, Likens was accused of stealing candy she had actually purchased. On another occasion, in late August, Likens was subjected to humiliation, but she claimed to have a boyfriend in Long Beach, whom she had met in the spring of 1965, when her family lived in California. In response to hearing this, Gertrude asked if she had ever done anything with a boy, to which Likens replied, unsure of her meaning, replied, I guess so. Explained that she had gone skating with boys there and had once gone to a park on the beach with them. Continuing the conversation with SB, and Jenny, Likens mentioned that she had once laid under the covers with her boyfriend. Upon hearing this, Gertrude asked, Why did you do that, Sylvia? Likens replied, I don't know, and shrugged. Several days later, Gertrude returned to the subject with Likens, telling her, It's actually getting big in the stomach. Just let you know it's gonna get really bad. It's gonna get kind of bad. Sylvia. Okay, hold on. You're certainly getting big in the stomach, Sylvia. Looks like you're gonna have a baby. I just like Gertrude was killing me with her and said, Yeah, the sure is big. I'm just going to have to go on a diet. However, Gertrude then informed her and the other girl's house that whenever they did something with a boy, they would be sure to have a baby. She did kick the Likens in the genitals. So, depending if she was wearing shoes or not, it maybe even hurt a lot or hurt a lot. Because it's gonna hurt a lot. Because with women, they don't got balls and a penis. They gotta think on the vagina. Because, well, probably everyone here knows this, you're probably a goddamn adult. I hope you're an adult. If you're a kid watching me, please go away. I am not the person you should be watching. Go back to, like, I don't know, you cringy 3 a.m. YouTubers. Oh my god, we found the haunted pizza in the McDonald's at 3 a.m. thing. I don't know. Go back to that. I don't want that here. If I have comments, I don't want to see some little kid here. I want to see people explaining how they hate my voice. Okay, I ain't gonna die. So yeah. Basically, she kicked it. Wait, where's the genital kicking? Paula. Okay, so she then kicked Likens in the genitals. Paula, herself 3 months pregnant, and also jealous of Likens' physical appearance, then participated in attacking Likens, knocking her off her chair and onto the kitchen floor, shouting, You ain't fit to sit in the chair. On another occasion, well, okay, I guess it wasn't that bad. I was thinking of something else. My bad. I mean, that is still kind of bad, but that's not what I was thinking of. On another occasion, as the family ate supper, Gertrude, Paula, and a neighborhood boy named Randy Gordon Lepper force-fed Likens a hot dog overloaded with condiments, including mustard, ketchup, and spices. Likens vomited as a result. It was later forced to consume what she had regurgitated. That just sounds lovely. Just seeing what you just thrown up in that hot, disgusting little mess full of chunks of the acid and the food. Sounds tasty, doesn't it? Whip that up for me, man. That sounds lovely. In what was Likens' only act of retaliation, she is alleged to have spread a rumor at Arsenal Technical High School that Stephanie and Paula B were prostitutes. Ooh, the naughty acts I see here. She supposedly did this because she was upset with the household singling her out for similar accusations. While at school, Stephanie was jokingly proposed by a boy who told her that Likens had started this rumor about her. Upon return home that day, Stephanie questioned Likens about the rumor, and she admitted to starting it. Stephanie punched her in response, but Likens apologized to her in tears. And Stephanie then also began to cry. However, when Stephanie's boyfriend, 15-year-old Coy Randolph Hubbard, heard of the rumor, he brutally attacked Likens, slapping her, banging her head against the wall, and flipping her backwards onto the floor. When Gertrude found out, she used a paddle to beat Likens. So first she was slapped again, Oh, so I just hit. It didn't really expect. Well, no, punched, slapped, banging. Got her head banged against the wall. Which turns out this is probably 60s. It's probably brick. Well, depending if it's outside, it was probably brick. If it was inside, it's probably like I don't know, from a concrete or something. I'm not sure how schools were back in the 60s. And then getting flipped backwards onto the goddamn floor like it's goddamn WWE. And then she also got beaten with a goddamn paddle. That just sounds lovely, doesn't it, folks? I don't know why I'm making. I was like, okay, make your response. Through a goddamn tablet, just reach through and like, I don't know, give me the goddamn middle finger. It's like, yeah, screw you. I want to show you I'm not actually doing it. Even though, yeah, it makes sense. Like when I go, flip them off. Woohoo. Well, I'm making a video. My parents can see this, and then they're going to come over and probably be like, "No more tablet for you more." Okay. How much more megabytes we have? We got like 4,050. We got 8,000. Okay, we're about like halfway done. Honestly, if I'm also making a video, I might check my eye, but nah, this is a video. You're gonna be like, "Oh my god, it's disgusting." On another occasion, Paula beat Likens to the face with such force that she broke her own wrist, having primarily focused her blows upon Likens' teeth and eyes. Later, Paula used the cast on the wrist to further beat Likens. Gertrude repeatedly falsely accused Likens of promiscuity and of engaging in prostitution, delivering advice to Likens regarding the filthiness of prostitution and women in general. Gertrude would later occasionally force Jenny to strike her own sister, beating Jenny if she did not comply. Coy Hubbard and several of his classmates frequently visited the BE residence to both physically and verbally torment Likens. Now, honestly, I'm gonna pause myself right here. But to me, you can't really insult me. Like, you can come up to me and call me every single goddamn racial slur and every slur in the book and say I'm a worthless psychopath and I should just go kill myself. I was like, I know, man, tell me something I don't know. But when it comes to compliments, I take those like insults. Often collaborating with, I should say to, let's say B, I mean the word I can't say. Often collaborating with B children and Gertrude herself. With the active encouragement of Gertrude, these neighborhood children routinely beat Likens, sometimes using her as a practice dummy in violent judo sessions, lacerating her body, burning her skin with cigarettes, in excess of 100 times, and severely injuring her genitals. And that just sounds fun, severely, genital pain. Lovely, ain't that stuff? It's just a 10 out of 10. I would always do that stuff. To entertain Gertrude and her teenage accomplices, Likens was forced at one point to strip naked in the family living room. Okay, so she's over here naked in the family living room with people around her. And then she was forced to do the naughties with a Pepsi Cola bottle. I can't help on here, okay? She was forced to go, I don't know what they got big, okay. She was forced to do this, man. Do that. I don't want to say the word, but if you're an adult, you probably know what I mean. I'm like, the one-handed Nazis, maybe two-handed if you're skilled enough. That stuff. It's not sex, because everyone knows, if I'm talking about that, I would do this. This naughty. No, it's not this. It's the one-handed one. The one where you go like that. Or if you're a man, you'd be going like this. In their presence. So, like I said, she had to do that in front of people. With Gertrude stating to all present that this act of humiliation for Sylvia to prove to Jenny what kind of girl you are. what kind of a girl you are. Gertrude eventually forbade Likens from attending school after she confessed to having stolen a gym suit from the school due to Gertrude having refused to purchase the clothing for her. For this act of theft, oh, that dirty little girl doing that dirty little theft because you wouldn't pay for a gym suit she needs. Gertrude ripped Likens with a 3-inch wide, or 7.6 centimeter police belt. Gertrude then switched her conversation to the evils of premarital sex before repeatedly kicking Likens in the genitals. As Stephanie ran to Likens' defense, shouting, "She didn't do anything!" Gertrude then burned Likens' fingertips with matches before further ripping her. A few days later, Gertrude repeatedly ripped Jenny out with the police belt after she reportedly stole a single tennis shoe from the school to wear on her strong foot. One goddamn tennis shoe, and no one's probably gonna even miss. Oh, you took that little shoe now. Oh, where's my... No. You took the shoe now. Bad. You know, taking this single shoe is so bad. I should say, once I feel comfortable enough, I will probably start being a bit more visual, how to say, of whatever instruments I got around in my goddamn room. Like this, I was gonna use this little stick. Nah, I'm not gonna mind though, for some reason the stick looks like it has crap on it. So I call it the poop stick. Because I have the humor of a goddamn 5-year-old. But yeah, for the act of theft she did there, then okay. Then we got turmoil. Spooky fap. I shouldn't be trying to make jokes, but at the same time, I push the line on jokes. If I make a joke and you're offended, please let me know in the comments. Don't be very rude about it. If I offended you, just like, hey there, that joke at insert time really offended me. Try not to do that again. And I'll try not to. Even though I probably will probably still make jokes whenever I feel like it. I normally don't do that stuff. Because I normally try to think of what the heck to talk about. But anyway, we're here to talk about murder and torture and very dark subjects. Not jokes. Let's get back to that. Turmoil. The Likens siblings were fearful of notifying either family members or adults at their school of the increasing incidents of abuse and neglect they were dealing, as both were afraid that doing so would only worsen their situation. Jenny, in particular, struggled against the urge to notify family members, as she had been threatened by Gertrude that she would herself be abused and tortured to the same degree as her sister if she did so. Jenny was also subjected to bullying by girls in her neighborhood, in addition to occasionally being ridiculed or beaten whenever she alluded to Sylvia's situation. And not gonna lie, I really hope that during this video I'm actually clear, because if I watch this just to see, okay, how did this turn out, and I sound like trash, I'm gonna be very mad. Because I can't really exactly do this again the exact same way, right? Because all my videos are unique. People have a script, I don't. Wait a second, how much more do we got left now? We got about... Yeah, I got a good amount. Oh my lord, it's nice seeing you here. Look, it's my little Pokemon. Well, I have such straight goddamn humor. Bow down to me. I am the comedic genius because I named this little stick a poop stick. Aha. I'm laughing my booty off, man. That's so funny. In July and August, both Lester and Elizabeth Likens would occasionally return to Indianapolis to visit their daughters whenever their travel schedule afforded them the opportunity. The last occasion Lester and Elizabeth visited their daughters was on October 5th. On this occasion, neither girl exhibited any visible signs of distress about the mistreatment to their parents, which was likely because both were in the presence of Gertrude and her children. Almost immediately after Lester and Elizabeth had left the B household when their father visited, Gertrude turned to face Likens and stated, "What are you gonna do now, Sylvia? Now they're gone." On one occasion in September, the girls encountered their older sister, Diana Shoemaker. That is someone's last name. I'm actually gonna be a bit shocked. At local park, both Jenny and Sylvia informed Diana about the abuse they were enduring at the hands of their caregiver, and that Sylvia was specifically targeted for physical abuse and almost always for things she had never said nor done. Neither sister mentioned the actual address where they resided. Initially, Diana believed her sisters must be exaggerating their claims regarding the scope of their mistreatment. Because, yeah, when it comes to, like, oh yeah, she got kicked in the genitals, got burned 100 times with cigarettes, was forced to eat a hot dog she threw up. Is that a goddamn horse? I think that's a horse carriage. I can't even tell. Yeah, it looks like a horse and like a cotton top. And that ain't no car. Okay, well, I'll see when they get a bit closer. They just stopped. Like they just okay. Several weeks prior to this, Sylvia and Jenny had come to Diana in the same park. While in the company of 11-year-old Marie B, and Sylvia had given a sandwich to eat when she mentioned to her sister she was hungry. Oh, yeah, that's a horse on it. Likens remained silent about the matter, although Marie revealed the fact to her family in late September, and his parents. Gertrude accused Likens of engaging in gluttony. "Oh, how dare you eat a sandwich when you're hungry? You're supposed to starve, don't you know that? You don't eat when you're hungry. You just say, even more hungry. Why don't you know this? You stay hungry when you're hungry. You don't get food. That's just illegal." Before she and Palmer choked and bludgeoned her. I wish I should have finished the sentence before going on. Yeah, now there's definitely two people with horses. The pair then subjected Likens to a scalding bath in order to cleanse her of her sin. "Oh, you ate a sandwich when you were hungry. Oh, you're such dirty. We must cleanse you by burning you alive. Boil you alive, apparently. Okay, let's have some human stew, apparently. Tastes disgusting. At the same time, I met Jeffrey Dahmer, so I don't really like human flesh, trying to say. Yeah, occasionally if I bleed, yeah, I'm gonna suck my blood. Get that thing back in my body, my blue, back my body. Yeah, those have to be horses. Those are two people walking. They are giant then. Yeah, those have to be freaking horses, man. Now, while in this golden back to cleanse her of sin, of Gertrude grabbing Likens' hair and repeatedly banging her head against the bath to revive her whenever she fainted. Just, well, you're in a boiling bath. You're not exactly like, this is nice and relaxing. Oh, would you look at that? My penis fell off. It's burnt alive. Well, we got a hot dog now. Who wants it? It's a bit bent. Oh, we got some meatballs too. Put them together, and what you get? You get your penis. Because it's not a penis. They bent off. Please, it hurts. Yes, I know she's a woman, not a man. But I am man, so I will make joke about man. So if some person who got offended by me doing that joke, don't come to my channel. I'm gonna make offensive jokes and the dark jokes occasionally. Well, not occasionally. Yeah, occasionally I might make some. So if you don't like that, go away. Don't ever come back. You're not welcome here. If you will be offended by jokes, you're not welcome. Get out. Go. The door is that way. Get out. Okay, I think they're gone now. Well, let's go back to more pain and suffering, because that is what my job is now. Not really job, my hobby. I'm gonna see if I can see my head move. I can't. Okay, that doesn't look like I got possessed for a moment. Got an egg going. Nee. Shortly after this incident, the father of the neighborhood boy named Michael John Monroe phoned Arsenal Technical High School to announce the report that a girl with open sores across her entire body was living at the B household, as Likens had told her. As Likens and I attended school for several days, a school nurse visited East New York Street to investigate these claims. Gertrude claimed to the nurse that Likens had run away from her home the previous week, and that she was unaware of her actual whereabouts, adding to Likens was out of control, and that all results were a result of Likens' refusal to maintain decent personal hygiene. Gertrude further claimed that Likens was a bad influence on both her own children and her sister. The school made no further investigations concerning Likens' welfare. Okay, we're almost done. This entire video is basically going to be about a murder case, a little bit about a war case. You can check that out. There's also a song by one of my favorite bands, Sabaton, about the attack of the dead man. You should give that a listen. Give it a listen. Here, have a bottle of water that's empty. Take it as a peace offering, I'm bored. Here, take it. Why aren't you taking it? The immediate neighbors of the B family were a middle-aged couple named Raymond and Phyllis Vermillion. Both intentionally viewed Gertrude as an ideal caregiver for the Likens sisters, and both had visited the B residence on 2 occasions. All the girls had been under Gertrude's care on both occasions. However, the Vermillions witnessed Paula physically abusing Likens, who on both occasions had a black eye, and openly boasting about her mistreatment of the children to them. On their second visit to the B household, both observed Likens to appear extremely meek and somewhat zombified in nature. Nevertheless, the Vermillions never report Likens evident mistreatment to the authorities. Yeah, my virtue. Oh yeah, we see this person just being the crap out of a kid. That's normal. This kid looks like a goddamn zombie. Just because she's doing that daily prostitution and dirty gluttony when she's hungry. Oh, that's why she looks like a goddamn zombie. That's why. And also not getting enough sleep. That's why. Should report this to the police at all? This is totally normal behavior. No, it's not. It ain't. Wait, screw you. Screw everyone you like. I don't like you at the moment. On or about October 1st, Diana Shoemaker discovered that her sisters were temporarily residing at the B residence. She visited the property in an attempt to initiate regular contact. Gertrude, however, refused Diana entrance to her property, stating that she had received permission from their parents not to allow either of the girls to see them. She then ordered Diana off her property. Approximately 2 weeks later, Diana encountered Jenny by chance, close to the home, and inquired as to Sylvia's welfare. She was informed, "I can't tell you, I'll get into trouble." Jesus Christ, so deep this goddamn pocket. Oh, those are probably about Australia. Okay, now we got a lot more to go, apparently. Escalation. So this might be a 2-part video. I'll probably make this, and then probably tomorrow I'll make a second video. Yeah, I'll see people more. Due to the increase in the... Okay, I'm gonna turn my light. It's getting a bit dark. Okay, time to talk more about pain and suffering and sadness. I'm gonna get a bit closer so y'all can hear my beautifully horrible voice. But they like it. Boy, hi there. You look nice today. You would smell good. Apparently my butt likes it too. And nice. Due to the increase in the frequency and brutality of the torture and mistreatment, Lycans was subjected to, she gradually became incontinent. She was denied any access to the bathroom, being forced to wet herself. As a form of punishment for, I think that's pretty good, for incontinence, on October 6th, Gertrude threw Lykins into the basement and tied her up. Here, Lykins was often kept naked, rarely fed, and frequently deprived of water. So basically like being a prisoner of war in a goddamn war. Sounds lovely, doesn't it? Okay, there's like a little glow on my face. And she was frequently deprived of water. Occasionally, she was tied to the railing of the basement stairs with her feet barely touching the ground. So yeah, she was practically hanging. In the weeks prior to locking Lykins in the family basement, Gertrude had increasingly abused and tormented Lykins. She would occasionally foster claims to children in the household that either she, herself, or one of them had been receiving direct insults from Lykins in the hope that this would provoke them into belittling or attacking her. On one occasion, Gertrude had a knife aloft and challenged Lykins to fight me back, to which Lykins replied that she did not know how to fight. In response, Gertrude inflicted a light score wound to Lykins' leg. So, again, that sounds just lovely, doesn't it? Oh, goodness. Okay, I was trying to think of like what would be a good place for my mom to send in the video. I realized she's going to be on the edge of the bed because I realized this tablet basically covers the entire bed. Physical and mental torment such as this would occasionally pause when the bees watch their favorite television shows. So she must have been tormented when they were watching, like, I don't know, this was in the 60s, probably watching MASH. I think that's on the 60s. The Andy Griffin Show, maybe some Gunsmoke. I think some Svengoolie was out in, like, maybe the 60s. So, yeah, they're just watching some good old telly. And then, boom. Okay, my show's over. Time to go torment a little girl. Hey, hi there. Time to kick you in the genitals again. Time to do the good old knife wound. Oh, you don't want to fight me back? Oh, fine then. I'll just fight you then. I'm the best. Where the heck did I leave off? Neighborhood children will also occasionally charge 5 cents apiece to see the display of Lycan's body and to mutilate, beat, scald, burn, and ultimately mutilate her. Just sounds like a jolly old time, doesn't it? Yeah, sounds just lovely. Marble, why are you being so retarded? Why you must be retarded? I'm doing a video, you must be acting retarded. Screw you. I'm gonna go ahead and mess with the score and I get electrocuted. I'm gonna just put it down here. Throughout Lycan's captivity in the basement, Gertrude frequently, with the assistance of her children and neighborhood children, restrained and gagged Lykins before placing her in a bathtub filled with scalding water and proceeding to rub salt into her wounds. So basically, rubbing salt into open wounds. That just sounds lovely, doesn't it? Oh, can I tell you something that sounds even lovelier? Getting skinned alive. When they're putting getting doused with some salt and lemon juice. You might be wondering why the heck did I think of this? So it was when I was watching a video of my mom. It was about disturbing facts. And I told her, and she legit was like, oh no, that's it. Yeah, I mean, think about it, you're skinned alive. You're still alive, probably, maybe. And then you gotta go through the salt, the lemon juice, even lime juices, maybe some pepper. And just, you throw me this salt water, man. I may drown. On one occasion, Gertrude and her 12-year-old son, John Jr., rubbed urine and feces from Gertrude's 1-year-old son's diaper into Lycan's mouth. Some good chocolate. Oh, there's that chocolate. That's poop. Before giving her a cup half filled with water, insisting the water was all she would receive for the remainder of the day. If I was I'll just be looking at that thing like a dog. I'll be like, let's get water. Okay, that's good for now. Maybe like in another minute or so, I'll get some more. On October 22nd, John B. Jr. tormented Lycans by offering to allow her to eat a bowl of soup with her fingers, and then quickly taking the bowl away when Lycans, by this stage suffering from extreme malnourishment, attempted to eat the food. So when she tried to eat the food, he's like, I'm joking. I got it. It's so funny. Wow, that's such a funny joke, man. Jesus Christ, why the heck are you tormenting this girl? Like, I still don't know how they got here. Like, oh yeah, I'm not getting paid all the time. Let me just torment this child to death. Yeah, that sounds fun. Let me just burn her. Put some salt in her open wounds. Take her genitals, burn her, scold her, boil her, mutilate her, starve her, drive her water. I ain't get my money. Ooh, I'ma kill you. Like, what the heck happened? How did we get here, man? Gertrude, or GB, eventually allowed Lycans to sleep upstairs on the condition that she learned to not wet herself. That night, Sylvia whispered to Jenny to secretly give her a glass of water before falling asleep. I got a little cry there. That night, Sylvia whispered to Jenny to secretly give her a glass of water before falling asleep. The following morning, Gertrude discovered that Lycans had urinated on herself. As a punishment, Lycans was forced to insert an empty glass of Coca-Cola into her vagina in the presence of the B children before Gertrude ordered her into the basement. The reason I said vagina was because it's not the naughties, but the Pepsi Cola. She just had to shove that in there. Do I know how deep? No, I don't want to know that. So, before Gertrude ordered her to the basement, Gertrude called Sylvia upstairs to the kitchen. Somehow the conversation got around to tattooing. Gertrude asked Sylvia whether she knew what tattoo was. She said, You branded my children, so now I'm going to brand you. Richard Hobbs testifying to Gertrude to GB's decision to carve an insult into Lycan's abdomen on October 23rd, 1965. Shortly thereafter, Gertrude shouted for Lycan to return to the kitchen, then ordered her to strip naked before proclaiming to her, You have branded my daughters, now I'm going to brand you. She began carving the words, I'm a prostitute and proud of it, onto Lycan's abdomen with a heated needle. Well, that's taking tattooing to a whole nother level. Lavana. Apparently I speak Lavana. How much I got left? I got like probably 20 to maybe 15 minutes. Okay, I had me a little brain break. We get to continue. What's this sports thing? That's my gun. That looks really pink. When Gertrude was unable to finish the bandage, she instructed one of her neighborhood children present, 14-year-old Richard Dean Hobbs, to finish etching the words in the liken's flesh, as she took Jenny to a nearby grocery store. What Hobbs would later insist were short, light etchings. He continued to burn the text in the liken's abdomen as she clenched her teeth and moaned. Both Hobbs and 10-year-old Shirley B. led the lichens to the basement, which each proceeded to use an anchor bolt in an attempt to burn the letter S beneath Lycan's left breast. Although they applied one section of the loop backwards, and this deep burn scar would resemble the number 3. So it was supposed to be an S, but it ended up looking like 3. 3. Yeah, I used to speak English for like the 2 millionth time. You guys are probably tired of hearing that. I should say too, if you guys make it to the end of this video, I mean, good job. Don't ask me how. You managed to survive my horrible voice. But good job. I also know what thumbnail I'm gonna use. I'm gonna use the picture of Soviet lichens. Because, well, this entire video was basically about a little bit of the attack of the dead man. But then I figured, you know what, I'll just change it one. Gertrude later taunted Lycans by claiming she would never be able to marry due to the words carved on her stomach, stating, "Sophia, what are you going to do now? You can't get married now. What are you going to do?" Weeping, Lycans replied, "I guess there's nothing I can do." In case you guys didn't hear that, she said, "I guess there's nothing I can do." But I want to add emphasis on the words, so I made myself really quiet. But you guys probably heard that because I'm pretty. Oh no, I think I ripped the guys off. Not good. He good, man. Later that day, Lycus was forced to display the coffin to the neighborhood children. With Gertrude claiming she had received the inscription at a sex party. Ooh, naughties. Not bad. That night, Sylvia confided to her sister, "Jenny, I know you don't want me to die, but I'm going to die." I can tell her. The following day, Gertrude B. woke Lycans and forced her to write a letter as she dictated the contents, which were intended to mislead her parents into believing the daughter had run away from the B residence. The content of the letter was intended to frame a group of anonymous local boys for extensively abusing and mutilating Lycans after she initially agreed to engage in sexual relations with them before they inflicted the extreme abuse and torture upon her body. After Lycans had written this letter, Gertrude finished formulating her plan to John Jr. and Jenny Blight. After Lycans had written this letter, Gertrude finished formulating her plan to have John Jr. and Jenny blindfold Sylvia and take her to a nearby wooded area known as Jimmy's Forest and leave her there to die. After she had finished writing the letter, Lycans was then again tied to the stair railing and offered crackers to eat, although she refused them, saying, "Give it to the dog, I don't want it." In response, Gertrude forced the crackers into Lycan's mouth before she and John B. beat her, particularly on the stomach. So she didn't want to eat, but then she just had it forced down her throat, like legitimately, not no technically or figuratively forced down her throat. Nah. I was full blown shoved down there. October 25th through 26th. Okay, this is gonna be ending kind of soon. Oh look, there's a moth. On October 25th, Lycans attempted to escape from the basement after overhearing a conversation between Gertrude and John B. Jr. pertaining to the famous plan to abandon her to die. She attempted to flee to the front door, however, due to extensive injuries and general weakness, Gertrude caught her before she could escape the property. Likens was then given a toast to eat, but was unable to consume the food due to her extreme state of dehydration. Gertrude forced the toast into her mouth before repeatedly striking her face with a curtain rod, until sections of the instrument were bent in right angles. Coy Hubbard then took the curtain rod from Gertrude and struck Likens one further time, rendering her unconscious. Gertrude then dragged Likens into the basement. That evening, Likens desperately attempted to alert neighbors by screaming for help and hitting the walls of the basement with a spade. One immediate neighbor of the Bees would later inform police that she had heard the desperate commotion and that she had identified the source was emitted from the basement of 3850 East New York Street, but the noise had suddenly ceased at approximately 3 a.m. She decided not to inform the police about the disturbance. Oh yeah, you hear that screaming? Yeah, it's up at about 3 a.m. She ain't possessed. It's probably normal. Yeah, it sounds like she's screaming like help and like screaming bloody murder. But hey, she probably got possessed, man. 3 a.m. It's good. We fine. Yeah, it wasn't fine. Death. By the morning of October 26th, Likens was unable to either speak intelligibly or correctly coordinate the movement of her limbs. Gertrude moved Likens into the kitchen and having her propped her back against the wall, attempted to feed her a donut and a glass of milk. She threw Likens to the floor in frustration when Likens was unable to correctly move the glass of milk to her lips. She was then returned to the basement. Shortly thereafter, Likens became delirious, repeatedly moaning and mumbling. When Paula asked her to recite the English alphabet, Likens was unable to recite anything beyond the first 4 letters, or to raise herself off the ground. In response, Paula verbally threatened her to either stand up or she would inflict a long jump upon her. Gertrude then ordered Likens, who had defecated, to clean herself. That afternoon, several of Likens' other tormentors gathered in the basement. Likens jerkingly moved her arms in an apparent attempt to point at the faces of the tormentors she could recognize, making statements such as, "You're Ricky," and "You're Gertie," before Gertrude potentially shouted, "Shut up! You know who I am!" Minutes later, Likens unsuccessfully attempted to bite into a rotten pear she had been given to eat, stating that she could feel the looseness in her teeth. Okay, we still got time, we can finish this. Upon hearing this, Jenny replied, "Don't you remember, Sylvia? Your front tooth was knocked out when you were 7. Jenny then left Sylvia in the basement to perform gardening chores for the neighbors in hopes of earning spending money. Okay, we're almost done. In an attempt to wash Likens, a laughing John B. Jr. sprayed her with a garden hose brought to the house that afternoon by Vandy Leopard at Gertrude's request. Likens again desperately attempted to exit the basement, but collapsed before she could reach the stairs. In response to this effort, Gertrude stamped upon Likens' head before standing and staring at her for several moments. Shortly after 5:30 p.m., Richard Hobbs returned to the residence and immediately proceeded to the basement. He slipped on the basement stairs and fell heavily to the floor on the basement to be confronted with the sight of Stephanie crying and cuddling Likens' emaciated and lacerated body, after she had been ordered by a mother to clean Sylvia. 2 more paragraphs to be done. But not really, we got like the best funeral intimitations, child, closing arguments, confession, and aftermath, Mars electricity, media. But I'm not gonna write about that. Stephanie and Richard then decided to give Likens a warm, soapy bath and dress her in new clothes. Then they laid her upon a mattress in one of her bedrooms. Sylvia muttered her final wish that her daddy was here, and that Stephanie would take her home. Stephanie then turned to her younger sister, Shirley, claiming, "Oh, she'll be alright." Yeah, she wasn't alright. When Stephanie realized that Likens was not breathing, she attempted to apply mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. as Gertrude repeatedly shouted to her children in the house that Likens was faking her death. Likens was 16 years old when she had finally succumbed to injuries. Now, like I said, there's a bit more, but I'm gonna save that for basically never. I'm not gonna talk about that. So, we're almost done with our video here. You guys have a good day. Enjoy the rest of your day, night, wherever you're at. Have fun wherever you're living. Whether that be America, China, North Korea. But actually, if you're in North Korea, I feel bad for you. I genuinely do. Why are you there? Well, apparently God said, screw you. Have horrible life. If you're living in Canada, well, good job. Live there, happy. Just have a happy life. Be good people. And just have fun. Peace out. Can I turn this off?